when you look at the average person, at most people, they've been probably doing this stuff for like longer than you've ever been alive. You're probably like what, 20, 30? Some of them have been living for like 60 years, 50, somewhere around. And they've been doing like driving, they've been talking, they've been just doing the things they are should be good at for like so long. Like when you think about it, every person on the road has been driving for like 20 years, right? This means that there should be like master drivers. Since a master it takes like 80 years, they should be just extremely, extremely good. Most of them, most of them suck. Most of them are just like average, even though they've been doing like for 20 years. It's like unheard of. If you were to take someone and train them in martial arts for 20 years, they'll be like extremely, extremely, extremely good. But yet, some people just stagnate. Some people don't improve as much, even though time invested is like crazy. Why? The thing I'm going to tell you about is called deliberate practice. It's the thing that separates the superior people from the average. The people that have been just doing something for 5 years and are like extremely, extremely good. They know about deliberate practice and they've probably been doing it. Deliberate practice is something that just makes sense, but for some reason does nobody does it. Why? It's hard, of course, and yeah, it's something of a lost art. Like people don't seem to think about it. But since I discovered this lost art, I'm gonna tell you about it. I'm gonna tell you what it is, how to practice it, what it means, how to do it, and how to actually stick to it. You've probably been going to the gym for some time, lifting weights, so we'll start with a gym analogy. Think about just going in and training biceps. You train biceps, that's alright. What's the weight you use? 10 kg, 20 pounds perhaps. You go there, you curl, you probably do some other exercises, then you leave. Next time you curl, next time you go to the gym, you should probably change something. Like, if you do, it's great. If you don't, you should probably. This could be the weight, this could be the reps. Why? Because it becomes harder, harder on paper. It doesn't have to feel harder, though it has to be harder on paper. If you increase the reps, you have to do more. If you increase the weights, it literally gets harder because it's heavier. That's progressive overload, like in a nutshell. That's how you just gain muscle. And something like this works in like every other area. You have to progressively overload like everything from talking, speaking, driving, doing martial arts. And why does nobody do it? It's weird. If you just go by the feels, as some people do in the gym, then they stagnate. And after 20 years of lifting, they look just okay. Well, 20 years, that's an over exaggeration. But after 5 years of lifting, some people just look like they just gain out the newbie gains, and after that, that's nothing. So, progressive overload and deliberate practice go hand in hand. How do you actually take deliberate practice and progressive overload to other areas? How do you just get into driving or speaking or just anything else? Well, you're gonna have to plan, actually, sit down and actually think about the things that make it hard, and how can you make it harder and more difficult? How do you increase your skill in driving? You have to do something that's harder. That's basically just everything. That's all learning that is. You have to increase the weight, increase the difficulty, increase just the grit and the discipline you need to do. So, what could be the difficulty slider for something like driving? Well, it doesn't even have to be difficult when you think about it. It's just you open up YouTube, you search perhaps how to shift the gear better, or how to drive better, how to drive like a master driver. You just look up a video, you make some notes, and you try them as fast as you can. Try the tips and just act on them. You practice deliberately. You go out and you try the new gear shift. You try the new technique. You try just, yeah, the new technique. That's basically it. You're probably gonna fail, and it's okay. But you don't want to make it just so easy. The thing is, though, brain is a very special and very lazy piece of an organ, because it doesn't really want to change. Why? Because it takes energy, because it takes effort, and that's precisely why it's uncomfortable, because it's difficult somewhat. You've probably been like practicing something, and you come to the point where it's just you either start to get emotional, like angry, you want to just quit, or just start to get bored. Though these two are the places where most people quit. You don't want to be either on one hand, like bored, or too stressed. You want to be somewhere right in the middle. Since you're gonna be somewhere in the middle, you won't just fail or you won't just succeed. That'll be like mixed reactions. You will fail sometimes, but also succeed sometimes. The actual number, the actual proportion is somewhere from one failure to four successes, or four successes to one failure. Well, that's the same thing. Four failures to one success. That's like 25% somewhere in the range. This is exact same number you get in video games, perhaps. You fail, or you just open the chest, there's nothing in it. You open another, there's nothing in it. You open another, again, nothing. And the next one, you gain something. And this 1 to 4, like the 25% number, is addictive. So you can make your progress and deliberate practice addictive. Aim just so that you don't fail or you don't succeed, because you're gonna get bored or scared. But if you mix it up, then your emotions are gonna get engaged, dopamine's gonna get engaged, and you're gonna learn. Actually learn, like your brain's gonna rewire, and you're gonna progressively overload your progress. Also, the thing I wanted to mention is that when you get like really emotional about the thing, like you get angry, bored, you want to give up, or something like this, that's the exact same point where your brain just senses the need to change. It literally just explodes with like the neurochemicals, and the discomfort you feel are the said neurochemicals. They're being just exploded into your brain, and they mean that you can actually learn, and that the learning is increased, which is weird. You like literally get the XP buff just by being angry, which is, yeah, weird. But next time you'll get like frustrated because you don't know something, just remember like this exact thing. You're learning at a faster rate. The point where you get like angry and emotional is the point where you should double down on just the focus and thing. And the thing is that learning and the things you do happens when you sleep, not when you actually do it. Like, yeah, of course you can nail the technique after like 20 tries, but that's like that's short-term learning. You learn it short-term, it's like there somewhere in the brain, like, yeah, you can do this, but it doesn't stay there. If you sleep good, it cements, it just hardens, crystallizes, and it's there. You can learn it, you can tap into it like every time, and it won't go away like almost ever. You may like lose some connectivity into the circuit, and it's gonna become harder, but still after like 5 years, you can still do it. This is the reason why you don't just forget how to ride a bike and you have to learn it again. It's weird. Like you can just go 10 years without riding a bike and then you can just sit on top of it. Maybe you get like a little off balanced, but after some time you just get the hang of it. This is the exact same thing. So after like really hard learning session, just sleep good, sleep a lot, and don't miss the sleeping time. So that's deliberate practice. How to do it, now how to stick to it. As I said, the more emotional and emotionally attached you get to some subject and or something, the more you're gonna learn. And since you get emotional, you probably want to do more of it. And that's the exact thing. Doing more. Doing more is not necessarily better because at some point the diminishing returns start to kick in and you gain like little and just less and less progress. So you could do like 3 sessions a week, which would get you like 80% of the thing, or you could do like 3 sessions a day, which would get you like 90%, 99, but you just lose so much more time. On the other hand, if you were to invest like the other sessions which you didn't do into like other things, you could just pop up and become a master at like 5 things at the same time. Which is yeah, thing. Also, once you start to do more and more, deliberate practice becomes harder and harder because you have to plan and you have to like do more things with the conscious effort. So the actual reps become less high quality. It just becomes junk volume. And yeah, you don't want to do that. Deliberate practice is literally just increasing the quality of your time, increasing the quality of your practice. That's deliberate practice. But once you start to do like more and more, the deliberate practice just tapers down and you become the same person who's been trying for 20 years and is pretty average. And you don't want it. So what I do instead is that I take the sessions, 3 sessions, 4 sessions, however many it may be, and I just stop at the point where I want to do more. You're gonna have to do like some experiments with this, but okay, do 10 sessions, perhaps. Or no, start from the lower end. Do 1 session. You want to do more? Okay, do 2. You want to do more? Okay, do 3. You want to do more? Do 4. You want to do more? Okay, yeah, you want to? Okay, do 5. No, not really. At the fourth, like the fifth one would be like a burden, like you wouldn't want to do it, and it just because you have to use discipline to get the fifth one in. So it just becomes counterproductive, and the diminishing returns start to kick in. So taper it down just by 1. So you do 4. You still want to do more after the fourth one, but you don't do it. Why? Because you know the fifth one's gonna be like low quality and you're gonna have to use discipline to get in. So that's how you find it. Since it's enjoyable, it means you're probably gonna stick to it. Like that's the 80-20 of like all things. You want to make it enjoyable, and once it's enjoyable, it becomes easy. Once it becomes easy and enjoyable, you can just do it whenever. You're gonna like it, you're gonna stick to it, and you're gonna get progress. The hard thing and the like unsexy thing is that the hard things, the valuable things are not the short bursts, not the like extreme 360-degree just changes in life, but just the small ones, the small changes. And it's like, yeah, it makes sense, but it's boring. That's precisely it. The boring stuff just gets you the win. The boring stuff is what matters. And the boring stuff, once just accumulate it over and over and over and over, perhaps for years, is what makes you fucking special. It's what separates you from the average. It's what makes you a master. So, the actual way of doing things is to plan the things you're gonna do before the session. Do it at the session. If you get frustrated, do more. If you get bored, try something harder. If you get scared, then just taper it down less. You want to fail, but you want to also succeed at each drill. And the number of sessions should be the one in which you still want to do more, but you won't have to use discipline to get it. The more emotions you use, the more emotionally tied to the subject you become, and the more you're gonna learn, and the faster you're gonna learn.